I think this kind of game, which is a medieval game, would be so interesting because not many players would try to find it. In fact, the game has their own fans that would try on finding the hidden game on mobile. Some of the best medieval game is not on Play Store, so you guys can enjoy the new experience then. Remember to like this video to reach 200 likes. Thanks. Top 10 Best Medieval Games for Android and iOS. Best medieval game you must play now. You can support this channel and send us a special thanks. Dark and Darker Mobile. Dark and Darker Mobile. This is the best new medieval game mobile. The game has launched their first beta testing and I really believe it will become one of the best medieval games. The gameplay is really matched with the name, where we will compete with the other online player by playing a battle royale. So we need to become the last man standing and get the last circle or kill every single enemy left. At the beginning we can pick different classes such as Fighter, Barbarian, Rogue, Ranger, Cleric, Wizard. They all will have a different main weapon, so it's pretty good to select your job based on the fighting style you like. The character customization is a little, but I love when we get a new equipment from the treasure chest or from the looting items, then our hero's appearance will be adjusted based on the armor and weapon we are equipping on. The combat mechanism is really good. It has a third-person perspective. We can block the attack and also do a basic attack frequently. But remember to select your active and passive skill first before entering the combat. The graphics are really stunning. I wonder if this game would be run perfectly to play for mid-range phones. Dark and Darker Mobile is the best action medieval RPG games for Android and iOS. Arosia. Arosia. This is a hidden medieval open world game that has a 3D games graphic for an offline game with a small size just less than 1 GB. I think this game successfully creates the medieval vibes, especially when we're arriving at the city. The way of the citizens and also the building is pretty much look like bring us back into that era. We'll play in a first-person perspective and allows us to rotate the point of view into 360 degrees. The gameplay of Arosia Mobile is we will be able to hold a sword and slash the bandit of the villagers. They will come to approach us aggressively. Try to move your hero while attacking to make a good effective actions. While in the village, there are some knights that will guard the area. We should keep our sword off so they will not be able to attack us. Unfortunately, this game seems not finished yet. That's why the game doesn't launch on the Play Store until right now. This is the best offline RPG medieval game concept. Aralon. Aralon Forge and Flame. This is one of the best classic games that will come with a role-playing games base. The game is taking place in a medieval era. Looks at how the village and how the panorama looks so pretty amazing. Even this game has existed for more than 10 years, but I'm surprised how they create such a great visual back then. We can do so many things like fishing, swimming, and surprisingly, we can see the fish in the water clearly. Such a great attention to detail from the developer. The gameplay mechanism of Aralon Forge and Flame is we'll play in a single player and explore the open world of medieval games. There are some character job selections with a character customization we can select to start your journey. We can use rolling action to avoid the attack, use your basic skill and attack to force the enemy. Anyway, this game will give you a great storyline. Every mission will be important for us to the next mission. Aralon Forge and Flame is the best medieval games mobile. Naro. Just less than 100 MB, then you will get a great offline game medieval on Android and iOS. Seriously, you just need to play this game even on the Play Store. We see the current review that show us how the player are still playing this game. I think the reason is the player are able to enjoy the game smoothly and perfectly. We will play in the first-person view, so we cannot see our main hero. We can switch the weapon of axe, sword, or bow by getting it through the NPC around the village. Try to interact with the NPC around to know the storyline and get your mission clear by killing some enemies. Seriously, you must not go any further because the strong enemy will be waiting there. We should try to grind some gold first to be able to buy new equipment. Overall, the game's map is quite small. We can explore the whole territory within less than 3 minutes to reach the end of the area. This is the great medieval games for Android and iOS. Evil Lands. Evil Lands. This game is too good for no pay-to-win RPG in the medieval concept. The graphics are insane and how the gameplay is perfection. Many players are always coming back to play it more and more. We don't have any pressure to play the game because we can grind the character as much as we can. The enemy will respawn in a massive number. So this will help the player to build up the hero's strength. The combat mechanism is absolutely top tier. We can move the hero while doing an attack, so we can avoid the incoming attacks way easier. The village looks pretty good in the medieval era. Looks at how simple and how the world map looks so adorable, with a lot of green land and mountains that will make a new mood booster. We can pick 3 different characters with a variety of character strength and abilities. Just to let you know, we can play casual or focus on PvP or player versus player, but you need to reach level 8 to unlock this feature first. Evil Lands are the best game with a medieval games graphic. Dark Steel Medieval. Dark Steel Medieval. You guys can play this game freely with such a great fighting game that looks pretty like gladiator combat. The character creation and how their armor looks like is really represent the medieval era. The main gameplay is a fighting game, so we'll fight 1 versus 1 with the opponent. The combat mechanism is touching and swiping the screen. We need to predict the enemy's attack by the body movement of each action. Timing and precision is really important to handle their attack. When our heroes does a critical attack, it will have a special cutscenes. After winning the game, then we can get a random equipment and items. Try to set up your best equipment for your hero to boost your power and durability. Right now, it has so many arena stages. Each of the combat will have a different battle arena, so you will always enjoy the new experience. There are tons of chapters that are ready to unlock if we can accomplish the previous stages. Dark Steel Medieval is the best medieval game fighting for Android. Steel and Flash 2. Steel and Flash 2. This is the newest sequel, and yes, it gets so much attention by the player and has been downloaded over 5 million players. Absolutely one of the best tactical war games in the medieval games era. The game needs a lot of strategy to win, so we must be able to control and navigate the hero to force the weakest enemy's village, because the gap between the strongest enemy with the weakest is way too big. We can use so many different soldiers with a variety of the weapons. They are a bowman, swordman, paladin, and also spearman. I love how the game's control made the game become so easy to play. The graphics are great, the view distance is really detailed even when we see it from a long distance. On the Play Store, it said an offline game, but the game need an internet connection to play, because the ads will always show up continuously. Seriously, the developer need to maintain it becoming more balanced between the player and also the developer. Steel and Flash 2 is the best medieval games for Android and iOS. Heroes and Castle 2. Heroes and Castle 2, probably one of the best offline games in medieval times, has so much potential to become the best. The way the characters' movement and also how the game can handle the low endpoints is perfectly done by the developer. Just to let you know, the game mechanism is really complex. It has a tower defense games genre where we should defend it by the skeleton invasion. The number of the monsters coming up is truly massive. Luckily, we are able to recall troops to help us on slaying them. But honestly, as the main hero, we can slash every single monster at once so easily. But the way the enemies respawn is so difficult to predict. That's why the troops are really important for us. We can slash the enemy with our sword and use the dash button to dodge. The higher your stage level, the more difficult your opponents will be. So the strategy is the key to win every single match. Heroes and Castle 2 is the best medieval games mobile. Titan Quest. Titan Quest. This is the best medieval game on mobile that has a Greek mythology game base. The one thing that surprised me is right now we can play the game freely without paying any on Play Store, but the developers turns the game from offline into an online game. So we need to be connected with the Wi-Fi to sign in. The gameplay of Titan Quest is absolutely attractive. We'll play in the open world and let the players follow the mission or just explore the world to get a weapon. Seriously, this is no pay to win a game RPG because we can easily get a common rare weapon by the monster drop items. Try to avoid a gang of the enemies because they will come at us aggressively. And when you cannot handle it, then we can come closer to the Guardian and they will help us with killing the monster. The ambience is really realistic. In the city, the townsfolk walking randomly. Even we can interact with them always. If you would like to play a hardcore game, then the Titan Quest will be the best medieval games for you to play. Ninja Ryuko. Ninja Ryuko Shadow Ninja game. This is one of the best ninja games that has a Japanese medieval era. We will see so many Japanese ornaments with a great combat style. The character will hold two swords of katana sword and also great sword, which both of the sword will have a different power. The katana has less damage but faster attack speed, and the great sword has a way better damage but slower attack speed. So we can adjust the enemy's combat style based on the current sword. I love how we can create a counter attack. It will help us survive longer and also give damage to the enemy at the same time. The music is absolutely relaxing with a Japanese style instrument. I love playing this game, but honestly, right now the developer are giving the player an issue of frequently watching the ads every time opening the setting menu. I prefer to play this game offline just like the previous version. Do you agree with me? Ninja Ryuko Shadow Ninja game is the best medieval game RPG for Android and iOS. Dungeon World. Bonus Dungeon World. No matter what year you are playing it, this game will become the best game offline for mobile with a simple movement and casual gameplay. I'm sure the first time you play it feel quite weird because the movement only does one move each time we try to reach a position. We will use two weapons that are switchable. They are sword and also bow. These weapons will automatically change based on how long we are doing combat, like a long range or close range combat. Try to hold down the button to launch the heavy strike damage. We can get the new mission by asking the chief and get into the dungeon to clear the mission. These all are the best medieval games for mobile. Surely this game will be the best recommendation for you to play on your phone. Remember to like this video. See you on the next video. Thanks.